Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking from LoyMachedo.com, and it's Loy Machedo. Today the date is March 2nd, 2016. Time right now is 5:48 in the evening. Got this question from one of the readers. He just asked me, Loy, what do you think of the world champions of public speaking in Toastmasters? Okay, see now the thing is, you need to understand that this so-called title that they give, World Champion of Public Speaking, okay, it's the name of the contest, okay? It is not actually where the world's best speakers come to speak, okay? And it's not World Champion of Public Speaking, it's a contest that is held by Toastmasters for all its members only from throughout the world to take part in a 7-minute speech. So it's technically, if you look at it, it's the championship of Toastmasters around the world for a 7-minute speech. And these speeches are normally not powerful speeches. They are just entertaining speeches. For example, let me make you understand. In Toastmasters, they have a judging ballot, okay? And a judging ballot has certain criteria by which you will be evaluated for the speech to be considered as a winning speech or not, okay? And if you are within the parameters of these scores, or you score the highest within these parameters, you will be marked as a world champion speaker. However, if you look at the world's greatest speeches, like from Socrates, Patrick Henry, Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, Susan Anthony, Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Lyndon Johnson, Ronald Reagan, these are some of the greatest speakers or speakers in the world who have given us some of the most memorable speeches. None of their speeches would even win the club level at a speech contest held by Toastmasters. Why? Because as per the judging criteria, you need to have dramatics. You need to have, you need to run across one side of the stage. You need to run to the other side of the stage. You need to move front and back, up and down. You need to increase your voice and then lower it and whisper. You need to have gestures on your face and, expressions on your face and gestures that move all around. And you need to make people laugh and you need to make people cry. You need to have the 6 emotions, that is happiness, sadness, anger, disgust, surprise, fear. So if you have all these 6, then your speech is considered to be a world champion winning speech, okay? That kind of caliber, okay? And so none of these speakers, none of them would ever win a Toastmasters speech contest because they don't have these criteria. They don't have all these elements inside it, okay? So then when you consider that none of these powerful speakers and none of these powerful speeches would have won a Toastmasters contest, then what kind of speeches do win? The speeches that do win are those speeches which fit the Toastmasters criteria, that appeal to the Toastmaster judges. Now, to give you a better perspective, let's understand what is Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization, small organization, really small, that has around 300,000 members, say roughly 400,000, let's be generous, okay? So if you look at it from the perspective of the world population, it is for every one Toastmaster, you have 100,000 people who are not Toastmasters. So 1 is to 100,000, okay? That is the ratio. So if you ask somebody down the street, do you know Toastmasters? You'll say, I don't know. But if you ask them, you know the Olympics? Everyone knows the Olympics. So Toastmasters is not a known organization. It's a very, very small organization, okay? And, if you Google, okay, so that's one thing. Then if you Google the most amazing world, Toastmaster speeches, most amazing, most impressive, you will be disappointed because they are not so great as they claim to be. They're just average speeches that you or I could give. It's just that they are there and they consider them as the wow speeches, okay? And if you closely look at the judging sheet, you will see that they give importance to certain elements of speaking that are actually not very necessary, like dramatics, like moving one side of the stage to the other side of the stage, running up, running down, giving all these gestures and movements and showing the expressions and making people laugh and cry and everything within 7 minutes. So there's too much in those 7 minutes. And the reason why people do that drama, or the reason why they do that bullshit, is to get marks on a judging sheet. It's not to change the world. It's not to touch people's lives. It's to win that contest, okay? And then, if you actually consider how many people take part in this contest, in a club of 30 members, maybe 3 or 4 would take part. Or if there are, more competitive people, maybe 10 would take part. But on an average, only 3 or 4 take part. And most of them start preparing on the day of the contest or just 1 week before the contest. Or if really someone wants to win, they approach speech writers like myself. They pay an amount of money and they get someone else to write their speech. And then they come and deliver it. And, most of them want to see if they get lucky, they move up the ranks, okay? So it's not all those people in the world, all the speakers in the world. It's just the people who want to compete in a club of a very small organization that represents 1:100,000 of the world's population, okay? And then if you actually see the winners who have won these speech contests, only very few are full-time speakers like Ed Tate, Darren LaCroix, Craig Valentine. They are full-time speakers. The rest of them just took part and, they're doing other things. Like, Jim Key, he's busy in his business. Randy Harvey is a college professor, So most of them are busy doing other things. They are not actually. And the guy who won from Saudi, I don't even know his name. What's his name? Let me get his name. What's his name? His name is there somewhere? I have to Google his name. Okay.
Speech contest.
Sorry, let me put this pause. His name is Mohammad Katani. Okay, he is an engineer. So, what happens is these speakers, they're just, they just win it because that's your hobby. This is not a full-time profession, or it's not a professional organization. What do I mean by professional is if you're getting paid money to talk, or if anyone pays you money to listen to you speak. For free, anyone can speak. And because this club is, Toastmasters is like how my mentor, Mohammad Murad, who's the ex-president, what he says, Toastmasters is not about contests. It's not about trophies. It's not about winning these contests. It's just, it's just something of interest that they give to keep the interest alive, So, you might win a speech today and people look at it, wow, and then after that, nobody will bother to think about it. And most of the speakers, if you have a look at them, it's really, seriously speaking, nothing great. Don't have to believe me, just Google them. Just Google, check them out on YouTube. Ask yourself, are these speeches like, wow, no. And have a look at the quality of members. Go to your club and listen to them speak. I'm telling you, I'm giving you in writing, you will wonder like, this is, professional speakers or world champion speakers. It's nothing great, it's all just gimmicks. So what do I think of the world champion of public speaking speeches in Toastmasters? I just think it's a small little contest in a small little organization that represents 1:100,000 of the world's population, okay? Where few people take part and somebody wins. And for the members, they're like, wow. But for the average people, this is just a 7-minute gimmick. And the ones who win it, yes, they do work hard. But they're not speakers whom you'll take seriously around the world. They're not speakers who would change people's lives or do anything great. They're just, people who get very happy to win a trophy, and that's about it. So they are nobody who I take seriously. They can offer you a few tips and tricks in public speaking. That's about it. But apart from that, Toastmasters for me is a place where all people who don't know public speaking, they come there, or people who want to be leaders. Then nobody who I take very seriously. However, if I want to really, get my speech evaluated, maybe I'd go to somebody who's a professional speaker, which is maybe 1% of the entire Toastmasters population. Okay, so what do I think of these so-called world champion speakers? They're just champions of a contest that is held by Toastmasters, which is a very small organization out of the billions of other organizations that are the millions of organizations that are there. And it's a small little world, and they're very happy being called world champion speakers. So that's what I think. So Loy from LoyMachedo.com, and who's LoyMachedo.com, telling you what he thinks of these guys. They're just normal, average guys who only the Toastmasters would give a lot of woo-la-la, but in the real world, they're nothing but just nobody. Nobody knows them. So let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Goodbye for now.